morning, friends. Welcome to day 5 of Romance-a-thon, and I'm here with some updates, what we're going to read today, what I finished last night, and just the plans moving forward. Last night I did manage to finish 40 Love by Olivia Dade. Unfortunately, not a fan. This is a no. I rated this story 2 out of 5 stars. And if you want to read my full review, definitely check out the description box. I will put a link to my written review there so you can read all of my thoughts. It took me a while to understand why I wasn't vibing with it. I love the cover. I did use this for my cover love prompt. Yeah, this one really let me down. So there's a couple of things I do enjoy in books, no matter if it's like romance or any other type of genre. I love fat rep. I love a little bit of smut. I love a good age gap, and this had all of those. However, so much sex like throughout, it went from like scene to scene to scene that didn't allow me to really root for the characters. And Tess seemed really confident in the beginning, and then that changed throughout the story. It was like the more that Lucas liked her and the more he did for her, the less confident she became. And I just wasn't a fan of that, like, at all. So yeah, so I'm not going to go any more into depth about my thoughts for this, but it just didn't work for me. Also, I don't know why it was part of the Marysburg series. I think I talked about that in other Romance-a-thon vlogs. Not a fan. 2 stars for this one. The written review will be linked in the description box of this video. But I do want to continue in the series and read Sweetest in the Gale, of course, by Olivia Dade. And I thought this was just one story like the previous 2 books have been, but this is actually like 3 short stories in one. So we have Sweetest in the Gale, Unraveled, and Cover Me. So it's 3 different books, or 3 different stories in this book. Sweetest in the Gale follows Candy Albright, and she is a teacher, an English teacher, or she teaches in the English department at Marysburg High, and it's Griff and Candy's story. And then Unraveled is about math teacher Simon Berman. He is assigned to mentor art teacher Poppy Wick. And then Cover Me is Elizabeth Stone has no health insurance, no savings, no one to turn to when she finds a lump on her breast. So I do like that it follows older characters and they are dealing with like real world things, but this one was just no. So I'm really hoping that I like these. So stay tuned for my thoughts. I'm probably, since there's 3 days left in the readathon, I thought I could read a story every single day and then finish it up by the end of the readathon. So that is my plan for that. So today I will be reading Sweetest in the Gale. As far as the books that I put on my TBR, I have 2 books left. This one is more normal size and this one is a little bit thicker. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm gonna start the last letter today because I'm really excited. I heard it's really emotional and I'm just ready for it. And yeah, if I don't read this for this readathon, I'll just keep putting it off. So I want to read it, but I think it's going to take me longer than a day to read it. So that's why for the next 3 days, I'm going to be reading like these 3 books. So I divided up the 3 stories. So Sweetest in the Gale is this, Unraveled is this middle bit, and then the last story is Cover Me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reading this, and then I will jump into the last letter. Update. I definitely do think this is the couple because he talks about like that she got a haircut and she's always wearing her glasses and pearls and like outfits like this. So I definitely think this is our couple, Candy and Griff, and I'm already in love with them so much. It's kind of cute because we're back at Marysburg High and we're following them. It looks like they're getting ready to set up their classroom for the new school year, and that just brings back so many memories. I talked taught, you know, pre-K and kindergarten for many, many years. And that was like always my favorite part of like the beginning of the school year, was like setting up my classroom and getting it ready for the new students. And I miss it so much, you guys. Oh, I miss it so much. There's certain things that I definitely miss, and then there are certainly things that I definitely do not miss. But yeah, setting up my classroom was one of my favorite things of all time. So I mean, of course they're in high school, so they don't set up their classrooms like quite how like I would or anything like that, but I don't know, it's still really exciting. Most of their time they spent inside their classrooms, and even through a wall, the screech of moving furniture told him what she was doing, setting up her classroom, angling her desks and chairs just so, exactly what he was doing. Later in the afternoon though, those bursts of sound ceased. Like him, maybe she was fastening laminated posters to the wall, or covering her bulletin board, labeling folders and reviewing opening day lesson plans. And I'm like, ah! Pages in, I have about 50 pages to go of Sweetest and the Gale, and I'm really enjoying it. It's like two English nerds going at it. They're both teachers in the English department, and Tess from the previous novel is the principal at Marysburg High, and she gives them the idea of poetry initiative, and she suggests that both of them work together, and they're just throwing out poem ideas and stuff like that. So if you like English a lot, if you like poetry, there's lots of recommendations in here. I did mark them, and I'm actually gonna look some of them up myself, but it's just two English nerds going at it, but at the same time they're both dealing with grief, different types of grief, but both loss of a loved one, and it's just really like kind of sad as well, but they're kind of leaning on each other in that way. Before we head out for the day, I'm making 2 stops. I wanted to give you a reading update. I finished the short story Sweetest and the Gale, and I'm probably gonna rate it like 3 stars. It had some really cute moments. I really liked the teacher representation in this, but I don't know if I was really on board with the romance. I mean, in a short story, it's hard to put all that she put in that story, like the grief of both characters and just the teaching aspect, and have a cute romance. I mean, it was cute, but like it just developed really quickly, obviously. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Now I am going to Starbucks, and I am going to try the Malibu drink. I asked yesterday in my vlog what drink I should try, and someone said, oh, Talk Bookish to me said, my new favorite Starbucks drink has been the new TikTok Malibu drink. Order a lemonade, but have it made with coconut milk and vanilla syrup. Tastes like being on the beach. And that is my vibe, so that is what I'm gonna get. Yeah, my friend told me to order this like Malibu drink. It's like lemonade made with coconut milk and vanilla syrup.
That sounds good. What size?
Grande.
You said it was a grande, and you said it was lemonade, coconut milk, and vanilla syrup?
Yes, please.
Alrighty, what else for you?
I wanted to get the egg white and roasted pepper egg bites.
I gotcha.
And warmed up, of course, and that's it.
Alright, it's just going to be $9.37 at the window.
Thank you. We have the drink. It looks like this. Like I said, it's a grande lemonade with coconut milk and vanilla. So Malibu drink, thank you so much. Let's try it. She's like, do you need a straw? I'm like, I don't think so. Oh my gosh, I'm already dripping. She could have given me a napkin. Mmm. Mmm. It tastes like a pina colada a little bit. Yeah, I like it. I would offer an update on the last letter. I am on chapter 11, page 124, and I'm really enjoying it. So basically you have these two guys that are special ops in the military, and they're best friends, and one of the guys' sisters back home wants like more pen pals, like to help out, like for herself and for them, just like so they get mail on mail days and stuff. So she starts writing this guy, and she knows him only as Chaos, kind of like their alias name, and she starts writing him letters back and forth, and then she tells him about her life, and he tells her, you know, he talks to her and stuff like that in letters. But then a couple of really tragic things happen. First, Ella's twins, they're 5 years old. Her daughter is complaining of like hip pain and stuff, and she keeps taking her to the doctor, but her PCP is not like showing any signs of anything. It's running tests and saying like, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not seeing anything. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll take her home. And then all of a sudden she collapses at school. She has 104 temperature, and she gets rushed to the emergency room, and they start running tests on her, and they of course find something. And it's really sad, and she's gonna have to go through treatment, and she's gonna have to go through surgeries, and she's only 6 years old, you know? So it's really sad. But then also her brother dies in, I don't think it was like in combat, but there was a mission that went wrong or something like that, and he dies, and he sends Chaos to take care of his sister. So he writes him a letter and says, look, I know that my sister is going to tell you that she doesn't need you, she doesn't need your help, but you have to go. And that's what the letter is on the back. So it says, Beckett, if you're reading this, well, you know the last letter drill. You made it, I didn't. Get off the guilt train, because I know if there was any chance you could have saved me, you would have. I need one thing from you. Get out of the army and get to 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒅. And then tells a little bit about the sister and stuff like that. But the thing is that Ella doesn't know that Beckett is Chaos, and he feels very much at fault for Ryan's death. And so when he goes to ��12💏 and goes up to the cabin, he doesn't say, oh hi, I'm Chaos, the guy you've been writing all of these letters to. So it's very interesting, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm kind of flying through it considering I just started it. I wasn't planning on finishing this today, but I mean, I definitely might. Watching cartoons in the background, reading this book. I am currently on chapter 13, page 166, and I'm still enjoying it, but I'm not like super invested yet, and I just have some questions and thoughts that I thought I would share with you. My big question is like, why didn't Beckett just tell Ella from the very beginning who he was, and come what may? You know, Charlie's outside, she's probably going to be barking this entire time. I would have rather him been honest and upfront, and then if she was pissed off at him, if she didn't like him or whatever, like that was okay. But how he had to kind of like omit the truth, or did he really omit the truth? It feels like he's definitely hiding stuff from her, and I just don't like that. I don't like when a relationship is formed. Like, they had a relationship, they were falling in love with each other over the course of these letters, and then when he could finally see her in person, he like lies to her basically. And I don't know, I don't know how I feel about that, but I do love her kids so freaking much. Maisie and Colton are freaking adorable, and I'm really nervous about what makes people so emotional while reading this. I don't know, I want to know what the emotional part is. friends. I just got out of the shower, so excuse my appearance, but I wanted to sit down and wrap up my thoughts and feelings about the last letter by Rebecca Yarros. Over the course of the letters, they basically had fallen in love with each other as Chaos and Ella, but when he goes, because of the guilt that he feels about what happened to Ryan, he doesn't introduce himself as Chaos. He only says Beckett, and he says that, yeah, he told her basically everything except for the important thing, that he is Chaos and exactly what happened and how her brother died. So he's staying at this bed and breakfast at like the separate cabin, and he becomes really close with everybody there, Ella, the staff, her children, because he kind of knows them already, and he never tells her who he is. So that was kind of like strike number one for me. Like I said in a previous clip, I was like, it should have just been he told her the truth from the beginning, and then like come what may, it still could have been the same story. They would have had to start rebuilding maybe from scratch, but I feel like the end result still could have been the same. And the second thing that happened is that Ella has just had to deal with a lot. The guy that she thought she loved, basically as soon as she found out she was pregnant, ditched her. He never gave her any child support, even though he was like very well off, just totally ditched her. Then her brother dies, then her daughter gets like terminally sick, you know, and it just snowballs from there. And just when you think, okay, things are gonna be okay, things are gonna get better, this last part happens, and the last part is completely not necessary. And just as I was talking about how he used to know yesterday, I feel like this was written to pull those emotions out of you, and it was like almost manipulation, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't believable that this many horrible things would happen to the same person. It just wasn't believable. And then, like I said, it just felt like manipulation. Yes, I was sad. Yes, I was crying because what happened was freaking tragic, but it didn't have to happen to round out the story in any way. It totally could have been left out. And then the little epilogue at the end, like, really, I don't know. No, I was not a fan of that. So did I like the writing? Yes. Did I like the characters? Yes. I liked that Beckett and his dog and Colton. I just loved literally everybody in the story. It was just the lying. He didn't have to do that. And what happened at the end felt a little manipulative. So if you've read this and you feel the same way about that last part, let me know, but try to keep it spoiler free in the comments. Sometimes you guys with your comments are just like, people read the comments, and I try to be spoiler free in my thoughts, so definitely try to be spoiler free in yours. But yeah, I don't know how I felt about that last little part there. So 4 stars. But that's still a really strong 4 stars. Yeah, those are my final thoughts. Anyway, I had a great day 5 of the readathon, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye guys.